Good evening, and welcome to Sports Line Radio. My name is Dave, MeatMan Scandaliato, and I am broadcasting live from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. And you're listening to this program right here on 910 AM WUBR. CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge. You can also listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com, or download the WUBR 910 AM app to your iPhone, your Android, your smartphone, your iPad. That's what I do, Cap. It's nice to be able to listen to 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio anytime I want. I was in the doctor's office the other day at the eye doctor. I got the thing. I'm listening to Tommy Chrysan doing Pelican Sports Radio. No matter where I'm at, man, you just hit the blue button on the phone and boom, it pops up. Technology's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And every time that I'm listening to Pelican Sports Radio on my iPhone, I just say to myself, wow. All right, so it's Friday. I am glad to be here, glad to have you there. And of course, what we do each week here on the program, we pick football games against the spread. We try to do the absolute impossible, which is predict the winner ATS in basically a coin flip. You got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Pretty much. You got a 50-50 shot at getting it right. Team A is playing Team B. By default, one of them has to win. One of the teams, by default, has to win. You got a 50-50 chance. You can either win, lose, or tie. If you tie, nothing happens. Very rarely do you have a tie. Even though last week the MeatMan was 2-0-2 against the spread. I had 2 ties in the 4 games. 2 bad ties, man. I mean bad ties. I mean really bad ties. That Pittsburgh Steelers game. Boy, that was an ugly tie. Pittsburgh +3. I thought I had that one. And then I kind of got lucky. In the Dallas Cowboys-Oakland Raiders game, the Raiders hold the Cowboys to a field goal late in the game. They get the ball back. They're going down the field. He's going to score. Oh, he drops the ball. Derek Carr dives for the end zone, and he drops the ball. Wow. And it eliminated the Oakland Raiders from the playoffs, and instead of the MeatMan getting the victory, Oakland +3, I get another push. Yep, I got a lot of pushy on the weekend, man. The MeatMan, how you like that, brother? They don't call me the MeatMan for nothing. Huh? How you like that, Cap? 2 pushies. Yep, 2 wins, no losses, and 2 pushes. That puts my record at 46 wins, 31 losses, and 3 ties on the program. 15 games over 500. Not bad. I mean, look, I'll take that. A $100 player is basically up about $1,150. If you put $100 or $110, I should say, on every play that I've released here on the program, 110 to win 100, you're up about $1,300. Basically, you got a few dollars for Christmas. Basically, you got a few bananas to spend on your friends and family for Christmas. That's what you got. But, a lot of people, and me being in the offshore sportsbook business and an ex-local guy, I can tell you right now that most guys and ladies that bet 110 a game, and they've made a total of 80 plays during the course of the season, they're usually somewhere around 35 and 45. They're down about 1,500. Christmas sucks. Credit cards are maxed out. You're in a bad mood because you're always losing. Yep, so there's two ways you can go through life. You can let the meat man pick your games. And I know that sucks. Nobody likes somebody else picking their own games. Everybody wants to be a handicapper. If there's one thing I've learned in my lifetime, everybody wants to be the guy that picks the games. But I can tell you right now, not many people can do it. It's not as easy as it looks. You'll have a lot of people come up to me in the sports book. They'll go, yeah, I'm taking this team, Team A. And I'll go, really? Why are you taking Team A? And they'll go, well, they've covered 5 straight. And I'll go, well, really? So they've covered 5 straight. So now you're going to jump on them now that they've covered 5 in a row. Maybe they're due not to cover now. You ever think about that? The whole idea is to try to get on it before the streak happens. That's the whole idea, to try to predict before a team gets hot. You don't want to bet a team after they've already gotten hot. The lines makers have already figured out which way the money's going. Look, they keep perfect track of this stuff. They know how much money is bet on each team. They know how much money is bet on each total. They know how the public likes to tease teams. Like, for example, the Cleveland Browns, you'd always tease against that. They haven't won a game all year. They haven't covered a lot of games all year. If you take the teaser into consideration, if you've teased against the Cleveland Browns all year, you've done pretty good. Done pretty good. Same thing with the New England Patriots. Every time if you tease them, you've done all right. So they got all the information. They got all the stats. They got everything known to man when they put these numbers up. Because a lot of times, a lot of people don't take into consideration that a point spread is set a certain way because of the teaser factor. For example, a 2.5 point spread. You got a 2.5 point spread, and you do a 6 point teaser. You can tease the underdog up to 8.5, and you can tease the favorite down from -2.5 to +3.5. That's why you don't see a lot of 2.5s out there, because of the 6 point teaser. The bookies don't want you to be able to tease a 2.5 point underdog to over a touchdown. And they don't like the fact that you can tease a 2.5 point favorite and turn them into a 3.5 point underdog. A lot of stuff comes into making these point spreads. They don't just pull numbers out of a hat or anything like that. A lot of time, man. A lot of time, a lot of effort goes into making these numbers. All right, let's see something here. 2-0-2 last week. 46-31-3 for the year. I got at least 3 plays for today. I got at least 3 plays. I'm trying desperately to come up with a 4th pick. I don't want to force any more than 4. 3's probably just not enough for a program. You know what I'm saying? What kind of program you only give out 3 picks? You got to give out more than 3 picks. You got to give out more than 3 picks. So I'm trying to get a 4th one. I'm going to try to do that during the commercial break. I know the first 3 that I'm going with, though. Let's go ahead and start with the pros. Let's go ahead and start with the National Football League. And let's go ahead and take a look at that New Orleans Saints Atlanta Falcons game. It's game 115-116. Before I read the point spread out there, everybody, I got to read the disclaimer. I forgot to read the disclaimer before we started the program, and I'm only doing it for your protection and mine. I'm just doing it to protect everybody. We live in a culture today where you have to be so careful with everything that you do. I will now say, just to make sure we're all on the same page, whatever we talk about today here on the program, the following information is to be used as news material only. This is just news material. It's like picking up a newspaper. That's all it is. It's like picking up a newspaper. It's for news material only. If you're lucky enough to live in Las Vegas or Nevada, then you don't have to take this information as news material. Like, for example, I'm going to go on news material, this information later tonight and tomorrow and all weekend. It's in front of the Supreme Court, man, I'm telling you. They might legalize sports gambling in this country. I think they're going to do it, man. I think the Supreme Court is going to side with the states. The bottom line is people want to bet on the games. People want to bet on sports, and they want to be able to do it legally. They don't want to deal with Vinny and Mookie and Bob and all the bookies. I mean, I'm not saying these guys are bad or nothing like that. I mean, you look, bookies, look, the bookies do a service just like everybody else. There's no difference between a bookie and a prostitute. There's no difference. All they want is your money. They're trying to get your money. The only difference is between the prostitute and the bookie is you're trying to get something different out of each one of them. With the prostitute, there's a guarantee because it's a deal, this and that, but you might catch something, you might go to jail, a family might find out, who knows what might happen. You might get rolled. The bookie might stiff you. What I don't like about the bookie is he knows your betting pattern. Like my bookie knows I like to play a lot of underdogs. So if I had to call my bookie on the phone to make my bets, he'd probably shade each point spread by half a point. He knows the MeatMan on Monday night wasn't going to lay 7 points with the Atlanta Falcons on the road. A team that's 2-5 against the spread away from home. I'm not doing that. My bookie knows that. So if I had to call the bookie on the phone, he would have gave me 6.5 or 6. But since you get to play online at the Paperhead shop or this place or, I go to any casino out here. I mean, I'm a 5-minute ride from Caesar's Palace, the Wynn, the Encore, the Venetian, the Palazzo, Circus, the Clown Joint, SLS, the Westgate, you name it, the MeatMan's right there. The Stratosphere, Treasure Island, the Mirage. I mean, I'm right there, literally, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and I can get there a lot faster if I have to, man. Believe me, if I got to get down, I got to get a bet in, believe me, I'm going to get over there faster. All right, so we read the disclaimer. That we can't get in any trouble. Now we'll talk about the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The game opened 5.5 at Bookmaker. Chris, where the line originates. The point spread does not originate out here in Las Vegas. Some places claim they are the first to set the point spread. But if you're only going to take $200 on it while you're waiting for Costa Rica International Sports to set their point spread, then you're going to raise your limits once you see what they got. Then you're not really setting the line. I got news for you. Costa Rica International Sports, Chris, that's who sets the point spread. They open the game 5.5 and 53.5. Right at her sitting on 6 and 52.5. So you got a half-point movement on the line, and you got, a full-point movement on the total, going under. Remember in the old days, every Saints game, the line would move up on the total. It didn't matter what they put it at. It went up. Now it goes down a little bit. Saints defense getting it done. last week, we had the New York Jets, the Jets, Jets, right here on the program. And we got lucky. We got lucky because the final score was 31-19. It could have been a lot higher, but then again, that Mark Ingram touchdown at the end of the game really makes it look the score about what it shoulda, coulda, woulda been without all those turnovers that the Saints had during the course of the game. Last week, the Saints were a 16-point favorite. 16. That was a little bit too much. That was a little bit too much. Little bit too much. Now they're a 6-point favorite. Opened 5.5, went to 6. Every game that the Saints have played in this year, where the point spread was 7 points or less, the team that won the game covered the spread. Saints have played a couple of games this year with some high point spreads that they did not cover. They were a 9.5-point favorite against the Washington Redskins. They only won that game 34-31. And they were a 16-point favorite against the New York Jets. They won that game by 12, 31-19. The Chicago Bears win. It's a little misleading because they grade the spread at 7.5. I remember doing the program on that Friday before the game, and the line was 9. Because I teased the Saints down from a 9-point favorite to a 2-point favorite. If I would have picked the game on the program, Saints -9, they won the game 20-12, I would have lost. Even though the spread closed at 7.5 and they graded as a win against the spread, I would have still had it a loss. You have to eliminate all those high point spread games. Remember, the team that wins the game covers the spread in the NFL 85% of the time, unless it's a double-digit point spread. And double-digit underdogs have covered at about a 60% clip over the last 15 years or so. So you have to eliminate all double-digit underdogs from the team that wins the game, covers the spread 85% of the time system. Now, who's going to win this game between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons? The Saints are going to win this game. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Remember the last time Atlanta went to the Superdome? It was on the 10-year anniversary of the reopening of the Superdome. And the Saints went out there and they scored the first touchdown of the game. Boom. And then the next thing you know, it was like 30-something to 7. Atlanta. Saints put up a couple of points late in the ball game. Final score 45-32 from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. I mean, the Saints had so much to play for on Sunday. I mean, the game couldn't get any bigger. I mean, let's be brutally honest here. I mean, can the game, other than, a playoff game or the Super Bowl or anything like that, can it really get any bigger? The Saints are 10-4. The Atlanta Falcons are 9-5. Saints win this game. They go to 11-4. The Atlanta Falcons drop to 9-6. And that pretty much guarantees the Saints a playoff spot. Saints win this game on Sunday. They're going to the playoffs because they'll have 11 wins. Carolina plays Tampa Bay. If Carolina wins, I say they'll have 11 wins. Atlanta loses, they'll have 9 wins. If Seattle wins, they'll have 9 wins. If Detroit wins, they'll have 9 wins. If Dallas wins, they'll have 9 wins. Obviously, Dallas is playing Seattle. So the Cowboys and the Seahawks both can't win. The Saints go into the playoffs with the win on Sunday. Man, that ought to be motivation enough right there. Then you add in the fact that they're playing for the second time in 3 weeks. You saw what the Miami Dolphins did to the New England Patriots. Playing the second time in 3 weeks. And of course, man, you got to be motivated by the fact that the last game against the Atlanta Falcons was rigged. I mean, let's just call it like it is. It was rigged. It was rigged. It was rigged. That was a fixed football game. Was every play of the game fixed? No. Was most of the game fixed? No. Were key moments in the game fixed where Atlanta had an advantage over New Orleans? Absolutely. Not even close, Cap. Not even close. I like the Saints on Sunday. New Orleans is going to win this game. New Orleans is going to win this game. Atlanta has struggled on the road this year. They just 2-5 against the spread. The Falcons just 2-5 against the number on the road. And, you know, look, when they played a decent team on the road, like when they went to New England, they got buried. They got absolutely buried. Absolutely buried. I mean, Atlanta, they did beat the Seahawks a couple of weeks ago in Seattle. But you saw what happened to Seattle this past week against the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, the Rams went there and literally kicked the ever-living you-know-what out of Seattle. Atlanta was at Tampa Bay last week. They win the game 24-21. They did beat the Seahawks 34-31. But when they went to Carolina, they couldn't beat the Panthers on the road. They barely beat the Jets on the road. They beat them 25-20, not covering the spread. And in that big revenge game against the Patriots, they lost 23-7. It was 23-0 with a couple of minutes to go in the game when the Falcons scored to kind of save face and avoid the shutout. Atlanta has not been a good road team. And the Saints have been a very good home team. They've only got 1 loss all year at home. Saints only have 1 loss at home all year. They're 6-1 at home. They're 4-3 on the road. Like I said, Atlanta, they're 5-2 on the road, but just 2-5 against the point spread. And like I said, when they play winning teams on the road, Atlanta does not get the job done. The team that wins the game covers the spread 85% of the time in the NFL when the spread is less than 10 points. Every New Orleans Saints game where the spread was 7 or less, the team that won the game covered. There's a lot of 5.5s out there. Costa Rica International Sports has a 6. MeatMan hates laying points, man, but if I'm going to lay points, it's going to be with a home team, and it's going to be with a team that I really do deep down believe is going to win the game outright. The Saints are at home. They've played great football at home all year. Automatic wild card berth with a win on Sunday. Playing an arch rival, second time in 3 weeks. Got screwed 3 weeks ago on Thursday night when they played. If it doesn't fit, you must quit, man. I like the Saints here, man. I like the New Orleans Saints, -5.5, -6. If it's 5.5, you buy it 0.5 point. I'll never lose another game by 0.5 point. Never. I will never lose another football game in my life by 0.5 point. So put down whatever spread you want. I don't care. The New Orleans Saints -6 or the New Orleans Saints -5, -$1.20. Either way is good with the meat, man. The Saints are going to win this game by 7 points. The defense is going to show up. And they committed enough turnovers last week that New Orleans should be very protective of the football on Sunday because, look, if the Jets recover that onside kick, get the ball, could have been a lot different outcome last week, even though the Saints totally outplayed New York. New Orleans made a lot of mistakes last week, but this week I think it's going to be a lot different. I'll take the New Orleans Saints minus the points on Sunday, Christmas Eve. And that'll be your first play for today's program. All right, we got to take a break. We got to take a quick commercial break. Don't forget, you can watch the rebroadcast of Sportsline Radio anytime, 24/7. 365, about 4 hours after this program has ended. Just go to youtube.com, type in rebroadcast, Sportsline Radio, Dave Scandaliato, put the date. Or the easiest way is just become friends with the Meat Man on Facebook. Send me a friend request at Dave Scandaliato, DAVESCANDALIATO, Dave Scandaliato to Facebook. We'll become friends, and not only will you be able to watch the rebroadcast of the show, but I put a lot of good information up on Facebook, gambling related and all sorts of stuff. So all sorts of ways in case you missed the program to listen to it again. Don't touch that dial, Cap. You are listening to Sportsline Radio with the Meat Man, Dave Scandaliato. I'm coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're doing it all right here on 910 AM WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Figure I'd give you a little break there, Don. You know what I'm saying? Give you a little break there. You get to relax and just chill out the last hour. You know, I try to make it as stress-free as possible. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the family and the relatives and all of this stuff, and stand in line at the department store and pretend like you're happy all the time. That's what I don't like about Christmas. You got to actually smile and Merry Christmas. Hey! I called you a piece of garbage about 4 days ago, but the calendar turned to December, so now it's Merry Christmas. But it'll change in January. Don't worry about that. Carlos Brown doing his show tomorrow? The franchise doing his show tomorrow? He's done. Yes. Yeah, it's a strange day for it to fall on, because you're gonna like it's almost like not having Christmas. I hate to say it, it's almost like it not being there. Like you said, Christmas is best when it's on a Thursday. You got Wednesday's Christmas Eve, then Thursday, and then what the hell, Friday, you might as well just take off Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, and then it's New Year's Eve again, so we go through the whole rigmarole. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline Radio. My name is Dave, the Meat Man Scandaliato, and just like every Friday, I come at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. We pick football games against a point spread. We pick all games against a point spread, but during football season, we only pick games that are going to be played the next day. We do the show on Friday. The games have to be played on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Now, once football season's over with, we're doing basketball. It's going to be a lot different. But for right now, we're just picking games that are played over the weekend. We do the show every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Right here on 9, 10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Of course, if there's a holiday or, something the day after Thanksgiving, there's a couple of exceptions. A couple of weeks ago, we got snowed out. The power went down at Pelican Sports because of the snow. How you like that? How you like that? But that's right, every week on the radio. And it's so far so good, man. I mean, look, through 15 weeks, actually 16 weeks. 15 weeks of the NFL, 16 weeks of college football. 46 wins, 31 losses, and 3 ties. 15 games over 500, $110 players, up about $1,150. Not too bad. Not too bad. Could be better. We had an 0-4-1 day in there. We had a 1-3 day in there. We had a 2-5 in there. You take those 3 days, the 2-5, the 0-4. That's 2-9. 3-12 on 3 weekends. 9 games over 500. We're 15 games over 500 overall, and on 3 weeks, we were 9 games under 500. Too bad we couldn't get snowed out then, but that is what it is. Look, gambling's a lot of ups and downs, man. People hit the panic button. You can't panic. Started out 5-0 in the preseason. Then we went 3-1 the first week of college. Then the first week of pros in college, we went 2-5. A lot of people hit the panic button there. We went 2-3 the following week. Everybody hit the panic button. Then we went 5-0. Then we went 4-2. We went on a 9-2 run. Then we went 0-4-1. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. We didn't have a losing week. The bottom line is, it's a marathon, not a sprint. All right, let's see. I just gave you the New Orleans Saints. Minus the 5, minus $1.20, or -6, minus $1.10. At home against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. That was the first pick. The second pick is going to be on Christmas Day, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go on the road to play the Houston Texans. Right now at Bookmaker, where the line originates, the Pittsburgh Steelers, game 129-130. They're a 9-point road favorite. The total is 45.5. The game opened 10 and 44, so you got a full point movement on the side, and you got a 1.5 movement on the total. I like Houston here, man. And I know Pittsburgh has the world to play for. Because with 2 games left, there's no guarantee the New England Patriots are going to win both of those games. So Pittsburgh knows if they go 2-0 the final two games, the New England Patriots have to go 2-0 their final two games. In order for them to get home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs. And they're playing a Buffalo Bills team this week, the New England Patriots, that they're 8-6 right now. They're 8-6. The Buffalo Bills are 8-6, and they're, look, they want to get that wild card spot. They want to get that wild card spot. This isn't a dead Buffalo Bills team. I mean, there's no guarantee that the New England Patriots are going to win their last two games. Remember 2 years ago? The last game of the season, the Patriots went to the Miami Dolphins. They had nothing to play for, the Miami Dolphins, nothing. With the win, the Patriots were going to get home field advantage throughout the whole AFC playoffs, and they lose outright as a 10-point favorite. Wow. The Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning got home field advantage. The AFC playoff championship game was played in Denver, and the Broncos won. Went to the Super Bowl, and they beat the Carolina Panthers in a low-scoring game that went under the total. So Pittsburgh needs to win this game like a guy in the hospital needs blood. And you got to take into consideration, Pittsburgh is 11-3. Jacksonville, the Jaguars, they're 10-4. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this year. So Jacksonville has the tiebreaker on Pittsburgh. Now, Jacksonville has to play first. They're going to play on Sunday afternoon. Christmas Eve afternoon, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're a 4.5 point favorite, depending on where you do your shopping, against the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, since Jimmy Garoppolo took over the San Francisco 49ers, they haven't lost a game yet. So what I'm hoping for, as a gambler, I'd like to see the New England Patriots win against the Buffalo Bills. I'd like to see the Jacksonville Jaguars lose to the San Francisco 49ers. That would kind of put the Pittsburgh Steelers in a dead spot. Kind of put them in a dead spot. Not an official dead spot, but, somewhere in the zip code. Now, this is a tough way to handicap games. This is the whole problem with having to pick games in advance on the radio, because my decision in the Pittsburgh-Houston game is going to be a lot easier to make after I see what the Jacksonville Jaguars do and the New England Patriots do on Sunday. I'm going to be able to make a better decision, but I got to pick some games today. And the one thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially on the road, they don't blow anybody out. Nobody. I mean, it has been every game they play. Every game the Pittsburgh Steelers play on the road has been, oh boy, hey. The first week of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers played at the Cleveland Browns, who haven't won a game this year. They won it 21-18. They won by 3. Their second road game of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers went to the Chicago Bears, lost outright. 23-17. Now, the one good road game Pittsburgh had was when they went to Baltimore and won the game 26-9. Now, after that, Pittsburgh has won all their road games. They went to Kansas City, beat the Chiefs 19-13. They won a game by 6 points. They went to Detroit, won the game 20-15. They won that game by 5 points. They went to Indianapolis. They won that game by 3 points, 20-17. They went to Cincinnati, and they won that game 23-20. The last 2 times Pittsburgh has been on the road, the Steelers won the game on a last-second field goal on the last play of the game. And this is against the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. Indianapolis is past bad. I can tell you that right now. I mean, for Pittsburgh, the Steelers to have to kick a field goal on the last play of the game to beat the Indianapolis Colts, that's pretty bad. And then, of course, a game against the Cincinnati Bengals, they were losing the whole game. The whole game. They scored, and they got to kick a field goal at the end. You can't lay 9 points with the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. Even though they need the game, even though you don't know how it's going to unfold because of the plays on Saturday with the plays on Sunday with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots, a lot of that is going to determine what happens with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday, Christmas. But I know this for a fact, no matter what happens, whether New England wins or loses, whether Jacksonville wins or loses, I know for a fact only one time this year has the Pittsburgh Steelers gone on the road and won a football game by 10 points. They just don't do it. They don't do it. They beat the Browns by 3. They beat the Colts by 3. They beat the Bengals by 3. They beat the Lions by 5. They beat Kansas City by 6. I mean, come on, man. They lost outright to the Chicago Bears. I mean, they just don't win big on the road, period, end of discussion. My job on the radio here is to pick games. That's what my job is. It's to pick games against the spread. And at the end of the season, it gets kind of tough, especially with all the playoff races and all that stuff. But I really do deep down believe, no matter what, Pittsburgh's not going to win this game on Monday night or on Monday afternoon, Christmas Day, by more than 9 points. Bookmakers got 9. Some places have 8.5. Some places have 9.5. Once again, this is a real tricky spread because if you can get 9.5, obviously I would bump that up by a half a point, make it 10. For example, the Clown Joint, Circus, where I hang out at. That's all the MGM properties, the Mirage, New York, Luxor. I go on and on and on. They're dealing 9.5. The Stations Casino, the Fajita Brothers, the guys that own the UFC. There's Stations Casinos all over Las Vegas. They're dealing 9.5. So if you can get 9.5, you buy it a half a point, knock it up to 10, and you take the Houston Texans plus 10 minus $1.20. If the point spread's just 9, just leave it at 9. Just leave it at 9. Leave it at 9. Don't worry about all that. Just leave it at 9 and take your chances. If you get 9 and they lose by 10, so be it. You lose a game by a point, that's one thing. The last thing you want to do is lose a game by half a point, which is why we're always going to buy up if we got the underdog or buy down if we got the favorite. In this case, we got the underdog. We're going to buy up. The other pick, the New Orleans Saints, we're buying down. But here we're going to take the Houston Texans plus 9.5. We're going to buy it a half a point. We're going to take them plus 10. And that's going to be your second play for the program today. All right, so we got the New Orleans Saints minus 5.5. We're buying a half a point. We're going to make the Saints minus 5 on Sunday in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome against the Atlanta Falcons. That's on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, We're going to take the Houston Texans plus 9.5. We're going to buy the half a point, knock it up to plus 10. We're going to lay $1.20 there against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, we're going to take one more quick break, maybe like a 2-minute commercial break. Then when we're going to come back, I'm going to give you the one college bowl game. I'm not going to force it, man. I only got 3 plays today. There's no point me giving you a pick that I'm not going to have my own money on. I'm definitely betting the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. I'm definitely going to bet the Houston Texans. Just the size of the bet will be determined by what happens on Sunday. I'm definitely betting the Houston Texans on Monday. And I got one college football bowl game that I definitely know that I'm going to go with. That's going to be played during the week. I'm going to give that out right after the commercial break. Don't touch that dial, Cap. 10 more minutes and one more play of Sports Line Radio still to come. And we're doing it all right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Ten more minutes, Don. Go start the car. Put the heater on. Go put the heater on, man. And the weather's all over the place around here, man. One day it's 75, the next day it's 35, man. It's unbelievable. It's a pain in the ass. Oh, really? All right. All right. And welcome back to Sports Line Radio, the final couple of minutes of Sports Line Radio. And while I got a minute here, I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Obviously, I hope everybody has a great time on Monday with your friends and your family and all that good stuff. Don't forget that you got to go to church twice, man. If you're a church-going guy like the MeatMan, none of this just going on Sunday and saying, hey, it covers Christmas, it covers the weekend, it covers this. It don't cover that. It covers one day. You got to go Sunday for Sunday and you got to go Monday for Christmas. Or you can go Saturday for Sunday and you can go Sunday for Monday for Christmas if you want to do that. Or you can go Saturday for Sunday and then go Monday on Christmas. There's all sorts of combinations you can come up with. You can go on Saturday and Sunday. You can go on Saturday and Monday. You go on Sunday and Monday. But by rule, you got to go twice. Got to go twice. MeatMan hasn't missed Mass in 10 years, man. It's hard to believe. Ever since I became a minister of hospitality, a.k.a. an usher, I feel like somebody's emotional tampon at church. I hear more stories. I hear more people's problems. Where's the bathroom? You're in the middle of the gospel. You're praying. People tap you on the shoulder. Where's the bathroom at? Like there's a big sign right behind me. It says bathroom. It's right there. Yep, so you got to go twice. You got to go twice. And personally, I thought I only had to go once. But no, you got to go 2 times. I read it online somewhere that you got to go twice. So, I'm going to go on Saturday for Sunday, and then I'm going on Sunday for Monday. After all the games are over, they got a 6 o'clock mass at the cathedral that I'm going to work at as an usher. All the games will be over. Everything will be final, and the Christmas celebrations will pretty much begin. All right, let's see. I've given you 2 plays on the show here so far. We're taking the New Orleans Saints, -5, minus $1.20 against the Atlanta Falcons. We're taking the Houston Texans, +9.5, buy half a point, +10, minus $1.20 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final game, we are going to take a shot in the Texas Bowl game, 239-240. We're going to take the Texas Longhorns. The Westgate's got 3. Stations Casino has 2. Pinnacle has 2.5. Bookmaker's got 2.5. Bookmaker and Chris. They opened the game 1.5. Missouri -1.5. The total 59. They now have it 2.5. And 60.5. I'm going to take Texas in the 2.5. Now here's a situation where you don't buy the half a point. We don't buy the half a point here because you got to lay $1.40. Cost you 30 cents. We don't want to do that. You know, if I lose by 3, you know, because if every time you had to pay 30 cents for half a point, you'd get buried. So here's one of the few exceptions where you don't buy the half a point. I mean, you can. I'd rather lay 110 to win 100 plus 2.5 than 140 to win 100 plus 3. That's just me. You do whatever you want to do. But the Texans are going to win this game outright. Texas is going to win this game outright. I mean, look, Missouri has been on absolute fire. I'll be the first guy to admit it. Missouri, they've been hot. No doubt about it. They've won 6 games in a row to become bowl eligible. Missouri was 1-5. And they were left on the side of the road like roadkill. But they got hot at the end of the year. And it was all offense. They scored 68 against Idaho, 52 against UConn, 45 against Florida, 50 against Tennessee, 45 against Vanderbilt, and 48 against Arkansas. Wow. Wow. Very impressive. To win 6 straight games, finish the season 7-5, and become bowl eligible. But I'm taking Texas. I'm taking the Longhorns because even though Texas finished the year 6-6, I think their schedule was a lot tougher. They played at USC, only lost that game by 3 points. They won at Iowa State by 10. They played Oklahoma, the Sooners, who are in the Final Four. They only lost that game by 5. They lost to Oklahoma State 13-10. They beat West Virginia on the road 28-14. So I just think Texas is a better team. Missouri's hot. There's no doubt about it. But I think the end of the season might have cooled Missouri off. You know, it's been about a month since either of these 2 teams played football. And sometimes that could be a bad thing. I think this is a bad thing for Missouri. This is the Texas Bowl. The place is going to be packed with Texas fans. I like what Tom Herman has done with the Longhorns. Now, I'm going to take the Texas Longhorns here. I'm going to take them plus the 2.5 points in the Texas Bowl. And this game is going to be played on Wednesday, December the 27th. We'll take the Texas Longhorns plus the 2.5 in the Texas Bowl game, 239-240 against the Missouri Tigers. All right, so there's your 3 plays for the show. We're taking the New Orleans Saints -5, buying half a point minus $1.20 against the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to take the Houston Texans plus 9.5. Buying a half a point plus 10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers minus $1.20. And we'll take the Texas Longhorns plus 2.5 in the Texas Bowl on Wednesday, December 27th. Texas, the Longhorns plus 2.5 against the Missouri Tigers. All right, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Line Radio. Now look, you need some help with these bowl games? You're one phone call away from talking with the MeatMan. 1-833-MeatMan. 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 That's how you get directly in touch with me. You can always send me an email, dave@meatandpotatoes.com or dave@payafteryouwin.com. I highly recommend everybody become friends with the MeatMan on Facebook. You get a lot of good information from the MeatMan on there. Just send a friend request to Dave Scandaliato. Send a friend request to Dave Scandaliato, DAVESCANDALIATO. And we'll get rocking and rolling as early as tonight, this weekend, Cap. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Merry Christmas, and my man Don back in the studio in Baton Rouge. I'm in Las Vegas. He's in Baton Rouge. What a team, brother. 15 games over 500 heading into the Christmas weekend. All right, I want to wish my man Tommy Christ and TK Merry Christmas, helping me get the gig here. And, of course, my man Alan, the owner of Pelican Sports Radio and TV, for putting me in the ball game. Merry Christmas to him. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Everybody out there in listener land, my buddy Mr. Barry and all that stuff. I go on and on and on, but only got 15 seconds left. Don't forget, bet with your head not over it. Money management is the key to turning a profit. Betting sports. As always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'll see you in 167 hours right here on Sports Line. Merry Christmas, everybody! Sports Radio. All right, I appreciate everything. Enjoy your 72 hours off. Your family, all of that, the festivities, the food. And I will see you next week on, what, New Year's Eve or something like that? Yep. All right. All right. I will definitely see you next Friday. No doubt. Looking forward to it. Bye-bye. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Line Radio. Don't forget, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., 9, 10 a.m., WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. You can always listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com. That's the website, PelicanSportsTV.com. You can download the 9, 10 a.m. WUBR app. Put it on your iPhone, your smartphone, your Android, your iPad. Anywhere you can download an app, you can listen to 9, 10 a.m. WUBR 24/7, 365. You want to get in touch with the MeatMan? 1-833-MeatMan, 1-833-MEATMAN. You can always send me an email, dave@meatandpotatoes.com, dave@meatandpotatoes.com, or dave@payafteryouwin.com, dave@payafteryouwin.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you catch all my videos, especially the rebroadcast of Sports Line Radio that we do every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 9, 10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. And if you want to become friends with the MeatMan, send that friend request to Dave Scandaliato, DAVESCANDALIATO, and I'll get you hooked up right there on Facebook. Like I said, bet with your head not over it. Money management is the key to turning a profit. Betting sports. My name is always Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'll see you in 167 hours right here on Sportsline.